other night, I'm reading a Romantasy book right before bed. Suddenly it's 4 a.m. and that's when I realized I hadn't blinked in over an hour. I was whisper screaming at fictional characters in a book to just, would you just kiss already? Let's unpack the book that robbed me of REM sleep for 2 nights in a row. Shield of Sparrows is book 1 in a new Romantasy series by very well-known romance writer Devney Perry. Right off the bat, we meet Odessa. She's standing on the edge of a cliff. Of course she is. Of course she's standing on the edge of a cliff. Cliffs are peak Romantasy real estate. They're peak real estate in every book. But then she says, except if I jumped, I'd be late. And if I was late, I'd be in deep. I rolled my eyes and then I smiled because it was just snarky enough to keep me reading. The plot is a classic Romantasy bingo card. A princess no one notices, overshadowed by her badass sibling, check. A politically arranged marriage, double check. And a smoldering bodyguard with massive muscles and a tragic past, triple check. Here's the setup. Odessa is supposed to live a quiet life while her sister May becomes the Sparrow, a title for princesses who marry the prince of a rival kingdom to prevent war. But when Prince Xavier arrives, he pulls a bait and switch. Instead of May, he demands to marry Odessa instead. The king agrees, mostly because Xavier and his terrifying guardian just finished slaughtering a bunch of deadly sea monsters. And nobody wants to piss off the monster slayers. Xavier, by the way, he doesn't speak not a flippin' word. He's silent. The Guardian does all of the talking for Xavier. He does all the talking. Before Odessa can even process what's happening, her father, who's basically ignored her entire life, pulls her aside and tells her she has to find the secret city of Alisaria. Alisaria is located somewhere in Xavier's kingdom, but no one seems to know where, or they just don't feel like sharing that information. It's just this really well-kept secret. He also, in the process, just nonchalantly demands that she unalive. She should unalive the Guardian. You know, the guy with the legendary monster slaying resume? Yeah, that one. She has no experience with that. She hasn't trained her whole life in combat, but no pressure. He also just doesn't give her any reasons for this super strange and creepy request. What follows is a monster-infested sea voyage, a kingdom really full of secrets, and lots of banter-heavy, slow-burn tension between Odessa and, surprise, surprise, the Guardian, who's now her bodyguard. And I just want to remind you, he's not her husband, Xavier. He's her bodyguard. The Guardian is every Romantasy trope rolled into one. He calls her my queen. He lurks in doorways. He smolders like it's his full-time job. I have a dark past and you will fall in love with me because I'm so broken and need fixing. What I really liked though was that he pushes Odessa to become her own person. He trains her in combat, which is pretty cool. He challenges her and he respects her autonomy. And it just made me want to root for him, even though he's basically a walking, talking thirst trap. Odessa, she grows on you. At first, she's just that classic overlooked princess, but she actually has bite. She questions everything, which makes her really relatable. Next part is a small spoiler, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that saw it from miles away. The Guardian is obviously the prince, but the way it plays out, it still keeps you guessing. It's still mysterious and fun. You're left wondering if she married Xavier and Xavier is the Guardian, or the Guardian is Xavier. Does that even count as a twist? And also, who's she really married to? I'm so confused. And why is he hiding his identity? I needed to know. All the men in this book are like hot. They're mysterious and super emotionally unavailable. That's like fantasy bachelor season, and Odessa is just trying really hard to hand out her final rose. Cue, like, what was his name? Chris Harrison, like...
This is the final rose tonight.
But there's a reason that show is popular. And most of us struggle to like articulate why we love The Bachelor, but people just keep showing up for it season after season, and that's kind of how I felt about the book. Yeah, we won't go there. Let's talk pacing. The middle definitely does drag a tiny bit. There's a lot of traveling here and there, and there's this internal monologue that Odessa is always, it's just going. It's just going. At times, her spiraling thoughts felt so much like my own. I wasn't sure if I was connecting with her or just getting like really overwhelmed by that. The bill between Odessa and the Guardian is a masterclass in restraint. Like, whoa. But when it sparks, you know it's gonna burn. It's gonna burn hot. Like, burn that down. You know that song? If you do, let me know. Hell yeah, was I in for the fire? Until about the 80% mark. That's when things change. For me, just for me, my own personal opinion, suddenly we go from like this tension and intrigue to full-blown steamy romance mode, graphic dot scenes that felt like, I don't know, they wandered in from another book. It was very dramatic, very up against the wall, very endless O's, if you catch my drift. I won't say that here, you know? And for me, all of the beautifully built up tension evaporated the moment things became explicit. Just let me know in the comments. Do you read Romantasy for the steamy scenes? Are you fine with the heat, but you're just craving a little more restraint? Also, I have a tiny gripe. Can we please retire modern swear words in fantasy novels? If you're giving me corsets, carriages, and medieval vibes, don't drop a SHIT in the middle of a sword fight. Like, it literally pulls me out. It pulls me out of the world. I hate it. Despite all this, I finished the book with a strange sense of satisfaction. Because all of the stuff I usually roll my eyes at, you know, the jaw clenching and the accidental touches during sword training, the tortured backstory, I was into it. I hate to say it, but I was into it. I lost sleep over this, and I do not like losing sleep. Did I love the Guardian? Yeah. Even though he was basically a brooding Tumblr post come to life, I really liked him. I hate to admit how much I liked him. Did I want Odessa to just kiss him so I could go to sleep? 1,000,000,000,000,000,000%. And while I wouldn't say the fantasy element matches the romance and strength, I felt it redeemed itself by making me wait until 3/4 of the way through for a freaking kiss. Everyone should take note who writes romance. Make me wait. I like it like that. If you like your fantasy light, your romance hot, and your sleep schedule absolutely obliterated by fictional men with tragic pasts, this book is for you. Let me know. Have you read it? Do you want to read it? Are you a Romantasy fan? Are you a romance avoidant like I used to be and kind of still am? But you know, I'll take breaks. Is there a Romantasy book that doesn't lean quite so hard into this theme and a little bit more in the other direction? I want to know. Until then, stay lit. Literate, I mean. And stay well read.